This RICO case isn't the first time that Diddy has beaten a high-profile court case.
Allegations against me are 100% false, and I feel confident that in the next couple of days that I'll be vindicated and everything will be all right.
Words of confidence from rap star Sean Puffy Combs, made after he posted $100,000 bail on 3 counts of weapons charges. Combs' latest run-in with the law started at Times Square's Club New York, just after 2 o'clock Monday morning. Based on an eyewitness account, prosecutors say Combs, partying with girlfriend and actress Jennifer Lopez, got into an argument with someone. That person reportedly then threw a stack of money in Combs' face.
The fact that Mr. Combs has been arrested is because some person alleges that he had a gun.
In the late 90s, New York hip-hop was looking for something that it lost. The murders of Tupac and Biggie had left the industry so heavy that it didn't just silence the two artists, fractured the soul of the entire genre itself. But in Brooklyn, there was a teenager named Shyne. Shyne was very talented, and he really wanted to make it big in the industry. So he started hopping from barbershop to barbershop, not only to hone his craft, but freestyling to show his talent, in hopes that he would run into the right person with the right connections. And when Shyne rapped, people listened. He had a very distinctive voice. Not only was his voice low and smoky, but his voice and his delivery reminded a lot of people of Biggie. And it wasn't just that he sounded like him, it was also in the way that he carried himself, like a presence that felt simultaneously dangerous and grounded. People said that he didn't rap like he wanted your attention, he rapped like you owe him your attention. So the rumors and demo tapes of Shyne started to make their rounds, and eventually they made their way to the ears of Bad Boy Record, which of course, where Diddy is the CEO. And even though Bad Boy Records was highly successful at the time, they were still trying to navigate Biggie's death. So they were successful, but wounded. So naturally, Diddy and Bad Boy Records really wanted someone to fill in the vacancy left by Biggie. They really needed someone that was going to be able to carry that mantle without being swallowed by it. And when Diddy heard Shyne's demo tape for the first time, he didn't even finish the tape. He asked one question: who is that? So the introductions were arranged. Shyne walks into Bad Boy Records not as a fan, but as a contender. And we can say what we want about Diddy, but at least at the time he was known for his high standards. So he wasn't just looking for talent, he was looking for a narrative. He wanted a story behind the talent. And Shyne had both. The meeting was brief. Diddy asked him to rap, Shyne didn't hesitate, and it was enough. And within weeks, Shyne had a record deal to one of the most powerful labels in the industry. His life changed almost overnight, from rapping in barbershops to being with some of the industry's royalty. It seemed like everything was going well, but Shyne ran into a problem. On December 27th, 1999, just 2 days after Christmas, went to a nightclub with Diddy and Jennifer Lopez. I forgot to mention that Diddy and Jennifer Lopez were dating at the time. So the club was packed, not only with celebrities and athletes, but also with local New Yorkers, including a man named Scar. And even though Scar isn't celebrity status like Diddy, J-Lo, or even Shyne for that matter, people in the New York streets knew exactly who he was. And at some point in time, allegedly, bumped into Scar and Scar spilled his drink. People started pushing, shoving, and arguing. And at some point in time, allegedly, Scar threw a stack of cash in Diddy's face. And before you know it, guns are drawn and there's multiple shots fired. And naturally, the crowd scatters in panic. 3 people were hit with gunfire, including Natanya Rubin, who testified at the trial.
I was just out with friends.
In another development today, Natanya Rubin, who was hit by a flying bullet during the shooting, criticized the media.
I'm not famous. Does that make me any less valuable?
After the shots were fired, Diddy, J-Lo, and Shyne took off. They left through a side door, got into a black SUV, and sped off.
Involved or not, Puff Daddy is facing charges after he and Lopez were caught fleeing the nightclub shooting with a stolen gun in the car. Charges have been dropped against Lopez, but Combs, his bodyguard, and the driver are all charged. It hasn't been determined who had possession of the gun, but his lawyer says the car is registered to Puff Daddy's record company.
And yes, it's true that it was registered to Bad Boy Entertainment. But you know what's more important, sir? That he never went in that van to that club. He went in a private limousine. Therefore, how would he know there was a gun in the car?
It's not.
The SUV was speeding through the streets but ended up getting pulled over because they ran a red light. And so police asked everyone to get out of the car, and when they searched the car, they found a 9mm handgun. And everybody got arrested. Diddy, Shyne, J-Lo, Even the driver got arrested. By the time the trial rolled around, they let J-Lo go completely. But Diddy was charged with illegal weapons possession and bribery because he allegedly offered his driver $50,000 to take the rap for him. Shyne was charged with 2 counts of assault, reckless endangerment, and gun possession. And just like the RICO case, Diddy hired the best team that money could buy: Benjamin Brofman and Johnny Cochran. Yes, that Johnny Cochran. Fresh off the OJ case, Johnny Cochran.
And Combs' high-profile team of lawyers, which includes Johnny Cochran, say they expect the judge to ban both from being entered into this case.
These cases you heard about today in Moline, Illinois and in Washington, D.C. have been around for more than 2 years, and nothing's been done on them. And we think that's, again, an attempt by this particular DA to shore up his case. That everything that's happened in this case is not through a coincidence. He's tried to make it personal.
During the trial, Diddy's team denied that he ever offered any hush money to the driver. They also said that he was just a victim of circumstance. Wrong place, wrong time. Shyne's team argued that Shyne was acting in self-defense. He saw Scar pull the weapon first. He had to defend himself. And as the trial progressed, people started to notice that Diddy started to distance himself more and more from Shyne. But here's where things get interesting. Remember one of the witnesses, Natanya Rubin, who got shot in the face? Well, she said that of all the shooters, it was Diddy that shot her in the face.
I was a victim of a shooting that night in the club, December 27th, 1999, shot in the face by Sean Puffy Combs. And
So
one of the guys that was with Scar, apparently Puffy gestured in some type of way that they didn't like, and one of the guys that was with Scar slapped him in the face with a wad of money. And never in a million years did I think it would escalate to a shooting. And then I see Shyne, I hear the raised voices, and I see Shyne and Puffy start backing back. Now, we don't all watch the Hood movie or whatever. We know what it looks like when people are backing back and reaching from their hip to pull. So as they were backing back, they were drawing from their hip. And I turned to tell my friend, like, "Ooh, girl, watch out. Oh my God." Because there was really nowhere for me to go. As I turned back to look at them, I watched them bow bow. Both of them fired, and the muzzle flash was like, psh, psh. I watched them both fire their guns. I watched them. I got hit right here, in my nose, in between my eyes, which means I'm facing directly at you. And I watched him shoot me.
But in the end, Diddy was acquitted on all charges. Shyne, however, was convicted on 2 counts of assault, gun possession, and reckless endangerment. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. What happened that night might not ever be fully known, but a lot of people feel that Shyne ended up being the fall guy for Diddy, not only by throwing him under the bus, but also intentionally distanced himself from him with the intent for the courts and the jury to believe that he was the main culprit, leading Shyne to take the conviction and allowing for Diddy to go free. Since then, Shyne has been released, but deported back to his home country of Belize back in 2009. Natanya Rubin ended up having multiple surgeries, but to this day, she still speaks out about the case. J-Lo obviously went on to superstardom even though her and Diddy broke up, and Diddy went on to do Diddy things.